Good morning. Well, as you can see behind me, we just finished our first snowfall of the year here in Pennsylvania. Now, candidly, it was almost the first snowfall in the past 3 years here, so we didn't really know what to do with ourselves. We had to dust off our snow blowers and our snow shovels and get to work. It was a moderate snowfall by many people's standards, 6 to 8 inches, but for us it was still enough. We had to get out and work with it. And of course, we also got out our buckets of salt. It was yesterday when we were salting the sidewalks at the church that I started thinking about the importance of salt and the qualities that it has. We all know that we use salt to enhance the flavor of our food. We know that salt was historically used to cure, to preserve meat before there was refrigeration. But did you also know that salt was important in sacrifice? God required that the grain offerings that were brought to him were to be salted so that they would be acceptable to him. Did you also know that salt was used as a fertilizer? It was added to the ground and mixed in because its qualities would allow the ground to absorb moisture in a better way. So salt is historically very, very important. And I think that's why in the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus says to his followers, "You are the salt of the earth." You are the ones who are to enhance the flavor of the world around you. You're the ones who are to offer acceptable sacrifices. You're the ones who should fertilize the soil that is around you, make it richer, make it better able to absorb what God wants it to absorb. You are the ones who are to preserve the qualities, the good qualities of the world. And so that call to be salt is critical for his followers. But he didn't end his thoughts there. He said, "But if salt loses its savor, it's not good for anything except to be trampled on the ground." Now, for those of us up here right now, that's a little bit ironic because that's exactly what we use salt for, to trample on the ground when the roads are icy. But that's because it still has its savor. It still has its redeeming qualities that melts that ice, that softens it, makes it less rigid, makes it able for us to travel on. But when salt loses those qualities, when it becomes impure, then it's worthless. Well, what makes salt impure? Well, if it gets chemicals added to it, if it becomes polluted in some way, or if salt gets too much moisture, it clumps up and it loses those qualities as well. So it's important that salt stay pure in order for it to do what it needs to do. So this week, whether you're in an area where there's snow or an area where there's not, think about the importance of being salt in the world, the importance of adding flavor, adding healing qualities, making things less rigid, enriching the world around you. Think about that responsibility and exercise it to the best of your ability. May this be a week when you are salt. Have a great week.